today. Get a little rain.
But that's football weather.
It's football weather. Hey, folks, we're 1 week away from football season kicking off, and they call it week what? Week zero. And folks, we got plenty to talk about. Last week we was hot on the 5A. We're going to jump into 4A. Before we jump into 4A, hey, I was going to ask my guys how they doing because, you know, we met last week. Me and E got a chance to go out on Saturday morning and be part of Hair Media Day. And I want to tell everybody from Hair, thank you for all the love you give us, man, because a lot of you people fake the hate. You text me on the side and tell me what's up. But Hair give it all the way 100%. They keep it 100 with us.
They text you on the side.
They text you on the side. You know, they
in
want to
private, show love in private, but not in the public.
Man, keep it real. That's why the show's called Keep It 100. Text me. Give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You can even give me the bird. I don't care.
Just give you something.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Don't fake the funk. Give me the funk. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, another day, though. I thank the Lord for letting me live another day. I appreciate him bringing these two young men with me for us to do another great episode of Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports with my man RT and my man Big E. What's going on, fellas?
Not a whole lot. You mentioned something about next week is when football kicks off week 0. But
yes, sir. Yes,
actually,
sir.
It's a lot of great scrimmages going on this week.
Yes. I know we got a lot of good ones. I know Zoe and Westmore be out at Edmond Santa Fe. You got Cha-Cha jumping on that turnpike, and I think they're going to go down and scrimmage Jinx. Mm-hmm. You got Carl Albert in their backyard.
Big preview there.
Big preview.
They're going to have about 6 teams and about 10 food trucks.
10 food trucks.
Football weather.
I think you got my attention with the food
truck.
Yeah, you got my attention with the food truck.
We may need to go out there and check it out if you got time.
I love watching football. You know, I mean, last week I got the scrimmage. You know, my little team got the scrimmage, man.
Okay.
And we went against Blanchard, and when I left, man, and I tell you, I wasn't very pleased when I left because I don't think we you know, you put all this work in, and I'm driving from Choctaw all the way to Westmore because I love my nephew because my brother did the same thing for my two boys, and I got to give that love back because that's what family's all about.
That's what family's about.
When you find out who your true friends are when times is tough, right?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Said it late, but you got it straight.
Got it straight, and that's what I'm preaching here today because I'm telling you right now, man, we went to the scrimmage. My wife came and my daughter came. My mom was out there. And it was hot, folks. I worked on my tan. And believe me, got it dark,
man,
but it's
come
okay.
on, man.
Hey, I'm just keeping it 100, RT. I'm just keeping it 100, man. Hey, don't fake the funk. That's what this show's about.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. But I'll tell you, after we got done with the scrimmage, man, I just like, man, this don't feel good. I told Jonah Jerry, man, and we didn't argue, but we all had a little bit of disagreement on some things. Mm-hmm. But I got to give it to Jonah, man. He stepped up. He called a practice on Sunday. I didn't get to make Sunday because Z was hooping in. She got to hoop in Oklahoma, so that was kind of cool. I didn't have to drive nowhere. I didn't drive 2 or 3 hours to go watch her play. We just drove 45 minutes. Went down to Prague and played the 8th grade tournament. Came up second, but I'm cool with that because she handled her business, man, and she did some big things, man. And this girl, and I'm going to keep it, man. I'm a pub my girl. I talked to Ronnie Welch earlier today. He pub still, and I'm going to pub my Zoe Johnson because if ain't nobody else going to do it, who's going to do it?
Man, hey, you know what? You got to do what's best for you and yours, regardless of what anyone has to say. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to have their back like you do.
That's it, man. And we see that every day in life because, you know, sometimes you get these situations, you know, and I told Ronnie today, I said, man, it's so funny because, you know, we tweeted at Choctaw and Dell City post out for week 0 to kind of get everybody hyped, get them ready for the football season. Mm-hmm. Not one person from Choctaw liked it, retweeted. Hey, that's fine, folks, if you don't like me. But I was trying to show your kids some love. I know you're one coach over there think I stock shelf, and that's true. I do stock shelf, but I could be doing some other things. I could be out there gang banging. I could be out there drug dealing. But you know what? Me stocking shelf, that's the way I provide for my family. But I only stock the good beverages, and I know he drinks some good beverages. So that's me keeping it what?
100.
So that could actually be a cool little relationship if people didn't see it a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
appreciate you. See what I'm saying?
It's family.
Tony got my back.
Got your back. Hey, that's what we're here for, man. I got all my guys back on this podium because that's what we do, man. I mean, like I said, people like what we say, but I know Harold like what we say. Because if we go out and get 400 views in 2 or 3 days, hey, and they bless us with a blue helmet, I'm gonna put that blue helmet and have it up there with pride because Coach Blink said, I'm tired of looking at that Carl Iron helmet. I'm tired of looking at that Dell City helmet. So I said, you know what? We had to put the Carl Iron helmet on the shelf. We had to put that on the shelf. Hey.
What? Tony, wow, man.
Hey, I just keep it real, man. You know what's what, man? Ain't nobody paying these bills in this room but me.
You gotta.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna like.
They gonna be in rotation because Carl Albert be back.
Hey, they'll be back.
Hey,
I gotta go get that bomber helmet. I told Coach Thomas I gotta get that bomber helmet. I did get me a Westmore pullover yesterday though.
Yeah,
but I ain't gonna wear it.
We can go get some Carl Albert swag tomorrow at the previews. I think they may have some set up.
Why would I wear Carl Albert swag?
Because your daughter goes there.
She's a hooper, not a football player.
Well, she be at the games. Maybe get her, a little wristband or something.
She might be a little wristband. I mean, I ain't got nothing against Carl Albert, though. I mean, some things went down, but hey, we're gonna keep rolling. Though.
What things went down, Tony?
I don't know the truth, and I ain't gonna speak on it. If there's somebody want to talk about it, they can call me at 405-808-4477, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because that's what I do here. But hey, if anybody want to get into it, or you want to jump into it, but hey, we lost a good player at CA, man. Some things went wrong and went left and south, but I think he's in a better place because
before all the rumors get started and get mixed up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let me explain it, Tony. Long story short, everyone knows that my youngest,
yes, sir,
been playing football ever since middle school, and he's somewhat injury prone. I can actually say he may be the only player to say he's broken the back for that program. He literally has broken his back along with other things. Last year, he broke 3 bones in his foot at the beginning of the year running the ball in the inter-squad scrimmage, and he didn't get an opportunity to get out there on the field.
Yes, sir.
So for most kids that love something, really passionate about something, and you giving everything, blood, sweat, and tears, you actually breaking bones, and you hustle to come back. You don't miss a practice. You don't miss a game, scrimmage. I mean, in a boot, on the scooter. You actually showing up and got better attendance than some of those who was not hurt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Still maintaining the 4.0. So, when he got released, we was excited. I told you about it. Had about 5 games left that he could play, including the playoffs. And they pulled him to the side, said, we're love to have you back. We're happy to have you back. And we definitely need you out there to support as we go for 6. Long story short, or speed it up. He didn't get in the game. And I remember we was at the playoffs. You kept saying, man, why don't they play your boy?
Yes, sir.
I said, well, they've been able to be successful without playing him, so if it's not broke, why fix it?
Yes, sir.
So I told my son to continue to be patient. So he was down and out. Everyone who's been an athlete before, especially a starter, and then you don't get an opportunity to play.
I got one question.
What's that?
I hate to interrupt you, but they always say when you get hurt, you don't lose your position because you got hurt. You lose your position because you got beat out.
Yeah.
But if you're hurt and you come back and you're ready to go, because I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna keep it real with you folks. That's what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
If you was a starting QB and he got hurt and you played a backup QB,
yeah.
When the starter got back, is he gonna get his job back?
More than likely he will.
More than likely. So what's the difference, though? I'm just asking because
I'm not the coach.
I'm just saying. I mean, you feel me? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
you're right. I'm not here to bash nobody because I'm not a coach. I'm not an athletic director. I'm not a position coach. I'm just a guy up here that's not a journalist doing Keep It 100. As that was told before. But I'm saying I'm keeping it real because I think if you get hurt, because I know if your starting point guard goes down and she's hurt or he's hurt and they come back, they're going to put him back in the game.
Yeah.
Because that's the person that leads the field. Is it certain position that you get your position back or do you got to fight? Because I remember years ago, and I'm going to keep it real.
Keep it real.
Because my brother went through this at Midwest City.
Uh-huh.
Coach Donnie Johnson.
Okay.
Had a kid named, I'm throwing out names because, hey, this is years ago. Kid named Evan Letchell. My brother was better than him. I'm going to keep it real. Jordan was pretty cold. And I'm not saying it because we brothers, but I remember he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And they started Luttrell. And Luttrell kept getting beat. And finally, they put Jonah back in the game. Jonah had more interception than Luttrell in 5 games started than Luttrell started all season. And people can say, yeah, he ran a 4.2, he ran a 4.3. He was a quick white dude. But, man, if you're the starter, you should play. If you get hurt, you don't lose your position because you get hurt. You lose the position because you're not doing your job. Now, granted, if both guys is good, you play them both until you find out who's better. But if you lose your job because you hurt, I think you should get your job back. Because I know if your starting running back go down, your starting quarterback go down, your starting, I'm going to say a top skill player, they're going to put them back in the game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my baby girl, I'm going to be real, she's a pretty decent point guard. I think if she got hurt and we lost some games, I think when she came back, I think she's going to be back in the starting lineup. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, like I said, you can tweet me, you can call me and tell me I'm wrong, but I just feel as I feel. I don't know your whole situation. I know when I went to the game, your boy's a pretty good ball player. He was a starter as a sophomore. Mm-hmm. He got hurt. He was starting as his junior year. Got hurt in an in-squad scrimmage. playing running back, and I think he's a hell of a running back too. I know they had two other good running backs, and X Robinson and then Brazil last year. Mm-hmm. But I really think that him on that defensive side of the ball, playing strong safety or whatever, it would have helped him this year. Well, and I know I was excited about him coming back this year.
We all were. Ultimately, at the end of the day,
my wife and daughter leaving.
I'm not the coach, and I do trust in the coaches that they make the best decisions, and I always teach mine that you control the controllable.
That's it.
That's one of them things you can't control. It's nobody's fault on how he got hurt or why he got hurt, but what you can control is your attitude and your commitment, which never wavered. So, because he didn't have the best experience or was disappointed that he didn't get to play last year, coming into this year, he had reservations like, man, I've done suffered a broken back, broken foot, and I'm tired of getting hurt, and I thought that maybe I'd get a few snaps, and I didn't. So I said, you know what? We gotta let coach know, because they're expecting you, and if they're committed to you, you need to be all in. We had a conversation. I let coach know. And he admitted that, you know what, yeah, we could have been done more to kind of make him feel like he's part of the team, because he does mean a lot. We'd do a better job. So fast forward to spring ball, all went well. He just still let him know he's kind of on the fence, not sure because of the injuries. And he would like to, we'll back up. After getting hurt in football, he still did really well in wrestling, banged back and made it to state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so he kind of found a new love for wrestling. And so fast forward to spring ball, he was still on the fence. And I said, hey, you need to communicate with your coaches. You do not want to lead them on. And so I hit him up and let him know, hey, just talk to him, let him to see where his mind is at. So it was all good. And sure enough, what happened? A week before season start, he get a high ankle sprain. It was so bad we went and got 2 x-rays. The trainer there is awesome. He did everything he could to get him ready. He still wasn't 100%, so he's out there hobbling around. He's still enjoying it, still committed. And then other players started getting hurt. Just little injuries that would keep him out of the game for a couple of weeks. And so basically they was needing someone to step up in a position that he's never played, and he's undersized. And remember, he's not 100%. He's hobbling. So he's like, if I'm already not at 100%, I really don't want to put myself in a situation like that. Push come to shove, coach has got to make a decision where this is where we really need you. He said, well, you got other players that are healthy. If this is what's going to happen, it's probably best for me to let my body heal and get ready for wrestling. And so they came to an agreement, and so that's what happened. He wants to let his body heal. He's tired of getting hurt. He wants to have, hopefully, a season of non-injuries and try to do his best in wrestling and just enjoy his senior year and focus on them books.
Yeah, I know how those injuries goes, man. Once you get old, that body starts breaking down, man, and you're getting beat up at a young age at 18, 19 years old, man. It's going to just keep carrying on.
Not only that, I got to give it up to him, because a lot of kids will fall under their pressure, whether it's a coach or it's a teammate. And by the way, I appreciate those coaches who pulled him to the side personally, one-on-one, and touched his heart. That means a lot, as well as the grandparents and parents and teammates. That says a lot about the program. When you can have those individuals in your corner and basically saying that they miss you, they understand, and for him not to feel pressure to keep going, putting his body through that and standing up for what he truly wanted to do, I gotta give it to him, because a lot of them kids there, or any program, do not have the body size or the skill set to play at the next level.
No, you're right.
So what was left in it for him? He literally was on his last leg and can say, I broke my back for the program. So he has nothing left to prove to anyone. He still loves the coaches and everyone. He will be there. I will be there, just like I have been in the previous years, where I'll film something, I'm tweeting it out, celebrating, helping these guys get the exposure needed, and providing support wherever I can.
And that's what you should be, RT. I mean, there's no hard feelings here. You know, sometimes things don't work out. And I always tell people, you know, just being real, God has a plan.
And I'm glad you said that, because I told him, don't let that last experience be what you remember from football. Let it be the day before where you prayed over the team, because if anybody got your back, God does.
Because, you know, absolutely. I went there with my son, and he'll speak on that. I went through that with my son when he quit playing ball. You know, he didn't get a scholarship. He felt like all bitter. And I said these same words to Ronnie today, man. I said, you know, why I was bitter. Am I bitter? No, hell no, I'm not bitter. Boy, I'm jumping in joy. You know why? Because my boys and my daughters are doing hell of a things. I can say I raised 4 outstanding adults right now. I can say that. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people are bailing their kids out of it. A lot of people are hiding stuff behind closed doors that their kids are druggy, their kids are as a crackhead, or their kids are on the street. I'm just keeping it real because we can make this show a reality show real quick. But I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real because I can honestly say, me, Jessica Johnson, Kristen, and her husband, we can say that with our kids because one, I kept my finger on my kids, and granted, things might not have went the way that I wanted my boys to go in football, but it's life bigger than football. You taught me that. You taught me that.
My oldest boy, he had 2 years eligibility left.
You taught me that. Because first I used to go around, God damn, man, damn, Charles didn't do this, damn, Corbin didn't do this, or damn, they did that. Man, you know what? You got to live your life because at the end of the day, there's life more than football. And there is, man, because my son, I'm getting to coach with my son, Little League for you know how cool that is?
What?
We're driving home last night, and he's telling me, and I'm looking at him like, damn, boy.
He's surprising you, huh?
Yeah, he put the all, he changed that. I mean, I'm just telling you, man, I'm having more fun coaching, and I ain't got it. I'm just like the hype man.
Yeah,
that's all I am. I'm the hype man. I'm helping a little bit on defense. I sprinkle a little bit on offense, but I'm just more the hype man. I'm just kind of the face of my brothers because we're getting to do it one more last time, man, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, your son's gonna be in the better places. Carl Albert's going to be in a better place. There's no hard feelings with Don, with any of the coaches. And don't feel it, because I know y'all going to watch the show thing. We're going to batter and beat. No, at the end of the day, man, we all family. And that's what we're going to be. Granted, if you love us, if you don't love us, I do want you to tweet my stuff out. But I'm
y'all was going to say that. Yeah, and along with the private messages, go ahead and hit that like button and retweet.
Hit that like button.
Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm here to support every kid at Carl Albert. I'm here to support every kid at Hare, every kid at Jones, every kid at Midwest City, every kid at Dale City, every kid at Bethel High School. We love every one of these coaches. I'm not here to bash no kid. I talked to a kid last night, Tyrone, from Bigsby. Me and him sat on the phone about 35 minutes. That kid don't know me from Adam's Eve, but we had a 30-minute conversation. I said, man, I want to get you on this show. Yeah. I want to get your name out there because at the end of the day, man, you playing for a team that's had 4 or 5 state championships. Benedict Arnold should be your top recruit. Yeah, you know, and I said, you go out there and you show out and do your thing, and it's like, and he can speak on this. Yeah. The kid from Hare, Luke. Yeah. Luke Sellers. Yep. I just tweeted a little bit. I said, hey, man, keep your eye on this kid. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It started ding, ding, ding. Nobody knew who the hell I am. I'm keeping 100 in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Right. But people saw what this kid had. I put his huddle out there, and that's what it's all about, folks. We are here to promote. I told Ronnie today, I said, man, we put that out for the shout to our kids, RJ Steele, and the little running back. Granted, if your coaches told you not to like it or retweet it, hey, that's cool. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get you some fun. What's what?
We're going to control the controllable. That's all we can do.
Let's
get into this foray.
Hey, let's get into this foray. I'm fired up, folks.
You fired up. I can tell.
Fired up, man. You got me here sweating already. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
We're going to jump in this foray, and we're going to start off with the number one team in foray, and that's that Clinton.
The Red Tornadoes.
Red Tornadoes got their 17th gold ball. Over Tuttle last year, and everybody knows Tuttle's a pretty good powerhouse in 4A, and they beat them pretty bad. They beat them 35-0. But hey, Tornadoes, so they're not done. They're returning 4 starters on offense, 4, and that's pretty good coming off a state championship team. Yeah, and the main attack would be the running back Garrison Rose, who had 805 yards, and with his fullback Bennett leading the way with him to open up big holes. But on defense, they're returning. On defense. Here I'm all over the place, folks. They're returning one of the top 100 players in Gavin Hill. He had 87 tackles, hoping him to get to another 18 gold ball. So the Tornadoes are not done. They're gonna go try to take care of business. But I tell you, 4A, man, I don't know if I would want to be in this district. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of teams in 4A. I feel like you're playing football forever. I feel like you started in September and you end in March. That's how long it is. Yeah. I mean, if you look at these teams in these districts, there's a bunch of them. Most teams got 18. That's what? How many different districts is there? There's one.
I think there's 4 districts in 4A.
4 different districts, and most of them is what? 2.
So you're thinking 6A because 5A is also 4.
Yeah, 5A still has 4 districts,
that's a lot of teams though. But coming in at number 2 is the Cushing. And Rusty Morgan, he has some big plans this year. He has 11 returning starters on
11.
11 return. That's your whole offense coming back.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
11 returning starters, man.
It sounds like they may be the team to beat.
They could be the team beat, and they got a great quarterback. I think they got a quarterback that one is their brothers. I think Blaze. I don't know if I can pronounce that last name good. Is that Bertuiz? Help me on that one.
Hey, Blaze, just call him Blaze.
Blaze, we're gonna say Blaze.
He gonna blaze through everybody.
Blaze through everybody. And, you know, he stands at 6'3", 200 some pounds. He threw for he's passed for over 6,200 yards, 58 TDs.
Wow.
I mean, this kid is a senior, and he still got one more year. I mean, that's big time. Then he has Noah Jones that had over 1,000-yard purpose rushing and passing yards with 9 TDs. I mean, so they're loaded. I mean, they're led by the receiver Yalt, and then the Blaze's brother Brody. Probably one of the best athletes on the team is a Cook. He's a 3-year starter, a 4-sport athlete. Which that's kind of crazy here in high school. A 4-sport athlete.
That's why I'm looking at you.
You know why I'm saying that? Because he got it in track,
Okay.
powerlifting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The powerlifting.
He's a 2-time state champion in the 300. You know what I'm saying? And then you know he plays football and
Wow.
and probably and along with basketball. So I mean, I'm just telling you right now, Cushing might be the team to beat in 4A. I mean, you know, if I'm that coach, I'm pretty excited myself because having all them athletes coming back, and then you got a guy that's a 2-time, you know, state champions in the hurdles. That means the kid can get up and jump a little bit.
Yep.
Then you got a quarterback that's thrown for over 6,200 some yards with 58 TDs, and he still got another year. Man,
before anybody play, I'm saying Cushing because they have the most.
Yeah.
Before,
I mean, they
before
got a lot. They
seeing
got a
anyone
lot
play.
going on. Then you got coming in number 3 is Ragnar Bulldogs. They're led. I mean, they're led by their top 100 rusher, Gabe. I tell you, with this team, man. I mean, Wagner's one of those little teams, little small little country teams, you know, and they're gonna have some great size. But I think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna be a playoff team. But I think it's gonna be kind of tough for them to compete for that gold ball because man, they got some talent in 4A too. You know, coming in at number 4 is Poto, the Pirates. I mean, it's led by its top 100 player. And RT, I mean, you've been doing this longer than I have. How's those top 100 players picked? Who picks those guys?
I couldn't even tell you. A lot of times it comes your coaches based on previous year performance, and then you know how other media outlets such as let's say the Oklahoman to put out like their top 30, and so if you look at the previous year and then the top 30 and preseason rankings, and it's just a combination of a lot of individuals like yourself that what you're tweeting out there or what you're covering and things like that, after a while you get enough buzz, enough people are talking about you. It's no different than social media. Your followers, you start getting a lot of followers. People start looking into it and they kind of give you their own ranking. If you notice, kind of if college ball, you have the AP and then you have the coaches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have different type of what am I trying to say? Like a crew or groups that determine based on, like, let's say we can start creating our own rankings. Either say, well, I would like to rank this kid or this team this high. I do the same, you do the same, and based on our collective input, we decide. You know, if there's a tiebreaker or whatever. But it's a lot of things that factor into it. Sometimes it is politics. Sometimes it is who you know.
That's big stuff. Like I said, with Poto, man, Dax, Dax Collins is a junior. He had over 1,400 yards, 16 TDs. It's funny to see how these kids rush up these yards. You think these guys, I got to ask this question, you think these guys would do the same thing if they was in 6A or 5A? Get that many yards? You think that quarterback would throw for...
It all depends on your offense. Perfect example. They had, in 5A, I'm going to use Piedmont as an example. They ran the ball 99% of the time, kind of like what Collinsville did. Yeah. That doesn't make them, that running back just really great. It's the offense is designed for them to run the ball. They're getting 3 to 5 yards every single play. Well, hey, guy, if you done had 30 touches, you're going to have a lot of rushing yards. But as you seen, like one year, I think Piedmont, that running back had like almost 3,000 rushing yards, but they didn't win the championship.
No, they didn't. Even on the defensive side of the ball, Poto will have, they got 8 returning starters. It will be led by its 6-foot player, Kick Felton. Will lead the way. He had 44 tackles, seven of them for losses. And Jagged Dawson, a 5'9" freshman, They started all 11 games as a true freshman last year. So Poto's going to have their names in the mix. But like I said, I'm kind of with RT. I know Clinton got some guys returning, but I think you look at it all. I think Cushing is a team that you got to put on the front burner. Coming in at number 5 is who?
We got Tuttle. 4A powerhouse. Everybody knows about Tuttle when it comes to 4A. They're returning their QB Mason Dennis. Last year he threw for over 1,400 touchdowns and he threw for over 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns. 1,400 touchdowns in a year, that would have been wild. But.
Dennis the Menace.
Everybody on their mama would have got him on their fantasy team.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then their run game will be led by Tyler Woodson and Brady McAdoo. They have a little 1-2 punch back there in their backfield, and then they got their wide receiver Mark Douglas. That'll be probably Dennis's main target this upcoming season. And also on Tuttle, one of the guys leading the front, leading in the trenches is Tannen White, son of Heisman winner and Sooner legend Jason White.
I don't know if that's his son. I think that might be his nephew or he's related to him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
I thought I read somewhere that I was his son, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, hey, we might have to Google that in a minute and keep it real because I don't want nobody to think we faking the funk here.
Yeah.
And we ain't told we're going to keep the funk, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because they might not retweet us or like us.
Yeah. And then on defense, they got 4 starters returning. One of those guys being Jake Tucker, who will be probably leading that front 7 on the defensive side. He comes back. He had racked up quite a bit of tackles last year. I think I was reading somewhere that it was in the upper 90s. He had racked up that many tackles last year, and then you got Austin Neesbit as well, and then McAdoo as well. McAdoo playing both ways. Toting the rock on the offensive side of the ball, and then trying to get stops on the defensive side of the ball. He's not going to have much breaks, but that just shows testament to him. He's going to have a high motor and everything like that to be able to do that, and I'm sure he does. Being able to do that, and then I think Tuttle could be right there in the mix to be right back in the 4A state title game, and we'll see how they do this season. So that's Tuttle, and then at number 5 we got Bethany.
Give me number 6. Number
6. Is it 6? My bad. Yeah, we got Bethany. So they're coming off an 8-3 record last season, and they'll have several returning starters. They got athlete Taylor Heim. I think I'm pronouncing that right. He'll be playing a bunch of different positions on the offensive side of the ball. That we rotate him around. He'll be playing some quarterback, running back, receiver. But he did play a little bit of quarterback last year, and he was able to rack up 1,500 yards through the air and 800 yards on the ground.
Wow.
So
like a Swiss Army knife, he does it all.
Absolutely. And, and then you got in the backfield as well, you got Jason Gilliland, running back. He also had 1,500 yards on the ground last year. So I think Bethany's probably going to be a run first team. You got your quarterback getting 800 yards on the ground and your running back getting 1,500 yards, or that's through his whole career. He has 1,500 yards, not just last season, but still pretty impressive accomplishment right there, being able to get that many yards. And then you got your wide receiver Woods Harrell, and he's another guy that'll be playing both ways, and he'll be looking to improve upon his junior season last year where he had over 500 yards receiving. And then on the defense, you got defensive front led by Jack Gilliland, which I'm assuming would probably be the brother of Jason Gilliland. No, they got to be related somehow, having that last name. But then you got Woods Harrell, as I mentioned, playing both ways, and then Jordan Straughter leading that defensive front. And then they also have a young buck in Evanson Malaska, who is the younger brother of Utah signee Jocelyn Malaska last year. So
he got that D1 blood.
Yeah, he does.
So what it sounds like is once you get down into some of the lower or the middle class teams, a lot of these guys play both ways.
Yes, sir.
And when you hit by that injury bug, it forces a lot of people to play both ways.
It takes a lot from you, RT.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny you said it because our little league team. It's one thing that my son mentioned last night. We're driving home, and he said, "Man, we got 4 guys on the sideline, and right now you're hurting on the depth." As you can see, when we played Saturday, the sun was out, it was beaming down, and kids were tired and dragging. last night we played about 7:15. We started the scrimmage, and man, we ran the team out of off the field. I mean, they threw in the towel on us, man. And I told my brother, I said, people watched us on Saturday, and we didn't look as good, so everybody's calling the scrimmages. But last night, the coach threw in the towel, and I just said, man, one thing about us, man, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but one thing about us, we're going to take pride in it, and we're going to try to put the best situation together to go out and win ball games. Granted, are you going to always win ball games? No. That's part of the game, part of life. But we're going to do our best job to try to help you win ball games and teach these kids to get ready for middle school. So when they walk into middle school, they can say, "Who coached you?" And they know what's going on. They know the X's and O's instead of just lining up and coaches. Oh, you're a big guy. You can play line. And kid don't know nothing about blocking. Know nothing about read zone and X's and O's. So I think that's one thing that we're doing. But you're right about that. You get into 4A, 3A, you do have a lot of kids going both ways, even the QB.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into number 7.
Number 7
got Hilldale.
They
finished 8-3 last year, and just like Cushing, they got quite a few starters returning. They have 9, not 11, but 9. So I think they'll make a nice solid push too. When you got that many starters coming back, that experience, it helps the coaches to free up time to develop some of those up and coming stars that will need to be available and ready if and when someone is sick, injured, ineligible, or whatever the story is. On offense, they'll be led by the senior running back, Eric Virgil. He had almost 3,000 yards last year, 24 touchdowns. He was able to do this with the help of offensive lineman Evan Keefe and also the senior QB, Kenyon David, who threw for about 21 touchdowns with his primary target was Logan Harper. So their offense looked pretty solid, got key players returning, but on the other side of the ball on defense, just like offense, Evan will also have a presence right there in the trenches along with Wyatt, and then behind Wyatt at linebacker you have Aiden Jenkins, who had about 73 tackles last year. Moving along to number 8 is Blanchard. They also finished with 8 wins last year, so a lot of these teams, sounds like during the regular district play, they got quite a few wins, or at least the teams in the top 10, and then it's decided in the playoffs. But Blanchard, like I said, they had 8 wins last year. They challenged this year due to what we were talking about, the injuries. They got quite a few players out, but they have to do some shuffling around, and good coaches will make the right decisions.
Yes, sir.
On offense, they do have 6 returning starters. Expecting a lot from the younger guys. QB Carson, Cooksey, I think that's his name, has a few options in receivers. He got Jackson, Brayson, and then at running back they got Zach Garrett. On defense, they only return 4 starters. However, they have a lot of experience in the free safety, Jackson and Carter. At number 9? Number 9 coming in, Ada. Now Ada in the
powerhouse.
Well, used to be. Last year they finished 3-7, but in the state of Oklahoma, I want to say they got about 19 championships.
3-7?
3-7.
That coach still got his job?
I believe so.
Man.
It's tough sometimes. You can't get rid of them when you have one bad season.
Man, I mean, they talk about it all the time, though, I mean, hey, Zoe asked me last night, when you going to get me back on the show? I said, when you start winning. Hey, that's keeping it what?
No. Anybody is welcome on the show. We're willing to partner with anybody. Yeah. Tony's cracking jokes. But on offense, although they're young, Carter Freeland will lead the team at QB. He passed for almost 2,000 yards last year. At running back, they have that triple threat option with Darius, Xander, and Kendre. And then at receiver, you'll have the high jump champion, Andrew Hughes. So the offense looked very promising. We just got to make sure that we limit the turnovers and the injuries. And I think that they're already in the top 10. They got few options, and they got great athletes. I think they can start getting closer back to winning championships. It's just not going to happen just this year, but you never know with all the injuries because other teams get injured as well. And then on the defense side of the ball, this is where they get the most support. Just like the previous teams we talked about, they actually have 9 returning starters on defense. Yeah, and defense win what?
Championship!
There you go. They go with a 3-man front led by Caden, Will, and Logan. Right behind them, you got Fisher, Caden, and George. So I think Ada will bounce back, and they will definitely have
a better record than last season.
More than 500. They'll probably at least win 7 or 8.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Number 10, Broken Bow. Last year, they also finished with 8. So, in the top 10, there's several teams that had 8 or more wins. But they returned the core of their offense and looking forward to advancing deep into the playoffs as well. Offense, they will be led by the Tylers. They're not related, but Tyler Miles and Tyler Harbin will share duties at QB. However, whoever is not playing QB will also go out at receiver, just play a little catch. You know what I mean?
So they got a little two quarterback situation right there?
Yeah. So, you got different formats, different sets for them, and one go down, you got one ready. And then on defense, they also run with that 3-4 set. The senior free safety, Gabe, and Nick Johnson, looking for them to hold it down and kind of provide the coverage needed. That's about it. That's the top 10.
Well, you look at, like I said, we kind of talked about the 4A classes. Here in 4A1, you got Clinton, Woodward, Elk City, Weatherford, Chickasha, Cassia, and John. I want to say John Marshall is in your 4A1, and then you're looking at 4A2. You got Tuttle, Bethany, Newcastle, Tecumseh, Harrah, Bridge Creek, and Classen, SAS. That's a tongue twister. And then you're looking at 4A3. You got Cushing, Wagner, Catoosa, Oologah, Scottook, Miami, Cleveland. Cleveland, you should know this coach over at Cleveland. Who's that coach over at Cleveland?
Man, he was my offensive coordinator my senior year. I can't think of his name. Stallard. Coach Stallard.
Coach
there you
Stallard,
go.
good luck to him.
Yep.
And McLean. And then you look at, you look at 4A4. You look at Poto, Hisdale, Ada, Broken Bow, Fort Gibson, Medill, Sallisaw, and Stidwell. You're looking at some salty teams, that's going to make it to the playoffs. Some's going to get in, some's not. But I really think this 4A2, you're looking at Tuttle, Bethany, Newcastle, Tecumseh, Harrah, Bridge Creek, and Classen, SAS. I tell you right now, we kind of talked about this team at the beginning of the show. I think they're going to be a sleeper because, like I said, me and E got a chance to go over there to their media day. I think Coach Blink has got the team going in the right direction. I'm not saying it just to say it, but I really do, man. Just the love they give each other, the way they deal. He put out another video just yesterday about the family, the connection.
Man, that guy is awesome with that video.
The guy is great.
Brandon Gibson. Shout out to Brandon Gibson.
Big shout out to him, man. And they're willing to work with us. But I think this is the toughest class, though, because let's go back up to 4A1. You got Clinton, Woodward, Elk City, Weatherford, Chickasha, Cassia, and then John Marshall. Out of those teams, I think you're going to see Clinton get in, Woodward could get in. I think Chickasha be a team that can get in, and I'm gonna go and put myself out there. I think John Marshall can get in. Then going into 4A2, you got Tuttle, Bethany, Newcastle, Tecumseh, Harrah, Bridge Creek, and Classen. Like I said, Classen what is it?
SAS.
Yeah, Classen SAS.
I think that in that district, I think Tuttle get in. I think Bethany get in. I think Harrah's gonna get in, and I'm gonna pick Newcastle get in. Not taking that from the other teams, but I think those will be your top 4 that gets in. And then going into the 4A3, then you got Cushing, Wagner, Canute. What is that? What is that called? I know it's a wrestling school too. Catoosa, I'm sorry. Oologah, Scottook, Miami, and Cleveland. Hopefully Coach Stoddard can get his team going, man. I know the last couple of times before they've kind of struggled, but I know he's trying to get his name out there and get that team winning. Did a great job when he was over at Choctaw as the offensive coordinator. But I think that's another tough. I think Cushing will be the leading way. Wagner, which 2 teams in the top 10. I'm going to go out of version, put Cleveland in there, and then Oologah in there. I think those will be my top 4 that goes out of that district and make it to the playoffs. I think at 4A4, I think you're looking at Hisdale, Ada. God dang, there's number 2 this year. Poto, yeah. Man, I cannot think today, man. I'm telling you, when you get old, folks, and I didn't get my nap today, so I'm really struggling.
You didn't get your nap?
I didn't get my nap, man.
But you got that cookies and milk, though, huh?
No, I got that. Don't tell nobody. I got that apple pie. I got that apple pie.
I'm going to tell HR on you.
She ain't here, so don't be telling. But I think 4A is loaded. I think 5A is the team. Like I said, we was excited last week to talk about those teams. Mm-hmm. We got some great matchups coming up next week. You're gonna have
tomorrow.
I know, but tomorrow is just patty cake. But next week is when it counts, though.
They bang a little bit.
They bang a little bit, but next week it counts on your record, though. Next week we can find out who shuffles on who gets on the table.
That doesn't count either.
Why not?
The first three weeks is
man. It tells you where you're standing at, though, because everybody now.
And so does tomorrow.
But guess what? Everybody's chasing right now.
Getting better.
No, they're chasing to get that what?
Getting ready to get better.
To get that what? Sitting on the table, man. To get that gold ball, baby. We broke out the gold ball. That tells you right now, football is around the corner, and we'll be coming with 3A and 2A. We'll highlight some of those teams because we're gonna get into the football. I think we're gonna start shooting the show on Sundays.
Yeah,
get ready and have it up for you by Wednesday.
And start showing up to some of these games.
Yeah.
Week 0. Where we at? Where we at? Week 0.
We got to go out to Del City.
We got to
go out to Del City.
Hey, but right now,
Coach
real
Jones?
quick though, Coach Jones, we're gonna give you some love. But what side you gonna sit on?
Uh-oh.
What side you gonna sit on?
Man,
you're gonna be in the end zone, neutral in the middle.
I have to be a little bit neutral because I love Choctaw.
Right.
They're my guys that graduated from there, but
right.
they don't show us no love.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
They don't show us no love.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, that's why I'm glad you said that because
they don't show us no love.
Hey, Choctaw, man, you had two great young men come out your program.
Yeah.
Deshaun Moore and Gabe Johnson.
Yeah.
And I would have to say, and I'm gonna be a homer a little bit, like how RT was for a while.
I still am.
He's still a homer.
I'm still representing Carl Albert, man.
With love,
love.
But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be real because I think that 2020 class kind of put them on the map, got the bus started, and everybody else got in the plane and just took off and flew with it. Mm-hmm. But you gotta give a little bit of love, man. You had two great young men that come through there. And Gabe Johnson's a hell of a wrestler because I guarantee when he won a national championship, y'all going to be beating the chest saying, putting him in the Choctaw Times saying, that's what I've honest. I know Benny and Treese will because they always show love. They always tweet back. Man, don't be hating. Your coach is going to get on the show, and he still might get on the show. So don't be a hater, folks. Quit drinking that haterade. Get on here, man, and be part of it. Everybody from CA.
They drinking that juice you gave them. You gave them some. What did you give them last year? Some kind of drink.
I gave them that BioSteel.
Oh, okay.
That BioSteel. No, everybody liked it, didn't they? They tweeted in, didn't they? I had every Midtel, every Jones, Aaron.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about and the passion that you have, not only for coaching your boys or your nephews, or you just love giving back. That's just another example of you giving back, and you're just trying to get the love back. You got to give the receipt.
You got to give the receipt, and that's what it's all about, man. Just hit like. You can hit this. I'd rather you hit dislike and get me excited than not put nothing at all. Because when you got 758 views, and you know that little thing that you showed me how you can get into there.
Yeah, you see who's watching.
You see who's watching.
Yeah.
And they want to say something. My wife do the same thing, so I'm mad at her too. She'll watch the video, but she won't like it.
Well, guess what, guys? We trying to set a new record. So after you watch the show, please take the time. Just hit the like button.
It's free to like. Doesn't cost you a dime.
Free to like. And if you're uncomfortable with that, those private messages go a long way too.
But I'm saying, we even got our own banner with our Twitter name on that, man. And guess what? Me and E didn't get a chance to take that banner home. Who took it?
Hera. They got to hang it up in their stadium now. I think it's pretty cool.
That's what we do, folks. We keep it 100.
Yeah.
I like said, I like to give Coach Blink, and we're going to talk about a couple of his players real quick. I think he got a quarterback in McLaughlin, a sophomore, second year playing football. I know these guys are young. They're really, really young. I think they only got 6 seniors. But just watching the atmosphere of being around there on a Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning, man, just that you can feel it. You can smell the football atmosphere.
There's just a buzz in that town right now.
And just the videos this guy's putting out, just the kids, just their nature when they spoke with pride. They spoke with a little chip on their shoulder, like, hey, yeah, what we had last year was good. That was a playoff team. They got beat in the first round to the state championship, Clinton. But I think they got it in their mind, like, hey, man, this team could be even better. Last year was more of a passing attack, but he got some receivers, as he not. He got a kid named Luke Sellers. I'm
tall kid, lengthy kid.
About 6'3". He plays outside and inside. I mean, think about being a linebacker or a safety trying to cover this young man. They got some speed, and I tell you, if you go watch their 7-on-7 hype video, I mean, they're putting up good numbers, and they got swag though. You know, they walk around with swag, and that's what it's all about. And I kind of said it myself.
But on the outside looking in, no matter if they win a game or not, they're going to love the memories they're creating just because of how the culture is there, that family support. Man, that's awesome.
That's big time.
Yeah, the winning and losing, that's the ultimate, but that's in the back of their mind. But coming together as one, as family, and just enjoying that experience, that's what it's about.
I tell you, and I think that's why, you know, the sad thing is your son's not going to get the experience his senior year, and I've talked to some guys that played college ball, and everybody know that played college ball, it becomes a business. It's a job. It's not like, hey, after school we're gonna run down to McDonald's and get our favorite chicken nuggets, and then we're gonna run back to your house and get an Xbox game and Madden and have a little quick tournament. No, that's what high school football's about. A Friday afternoon, getting in that bus and chanting all the way there, and then on the way home talk about the plays that you made on the field. Because me as a 50-year-old man, I still remember that. Me as a father that had two that played it and watched them make it to the semifinals and get beat by Stillwater, with E being part of that team, I still remember those. I mean, every now and then I might click on Jacket TV and watch the old game and see what Deshaun and Gabe and Thad and you know, Cade Sanford, some of those guys did. Some of those young guys, you know, Jordan Mukes when they was on that team. You know, Jeff Robertson. I mean, you those guys are always going to have, like you said, they're always going to have those memories, and that's what it's all about. And each one of these teams we talk about week in and week out, it's that brotherhood, it's that familyhood. Because once you go off to college, you don't see a lot of those guys no more. You meet new friends.
Right.
You meet your guys, your new buddies that become your brothers and your sisters on the court or volleyball or whatever sport it is. They become your new friend, and you might run into your new friend when you come home for Thanksgiving, if you get to come home. Because a lot of times, coaches don't want you to come home because you know why? They don't want you to get in trouble.
Yep.
It might be that one time you go out that night and go to the club and get in a fight, and guess what? Now your player's on TV for being with a group that got into a fight, and you might not have had nothing to do with it, but you got that black mark on you because you was with that crew.
Yep.
So
wrong place, wrong time.
That's it. So I think that's where we're sitting at right now, man. Enjoy your college, your high school. Enjoy those moments, because once you're done, you're in the real world like us, getting up at 4:30 in the morning and going to work. You know, God dang, that water bill was supposed to be $150. Now it's $300 because I've been watering this yard and it's still brown. But so you get in those situations. My boy, he called today talking about, man, my battery, my Jeep on my battery went dead. How much was it, son? $170. I said, well, guess what? You better work more hours this week. And he works for me stocking them shelves.
True life lessons. You're building them right, man.
Building them right, man. I mean, you got to, man. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's like I told Zoe. Zoe got it made, man. She do. She's the queen bee in this house. She don't do no dishes. Be. No, she got to do. Did you do dishes?
Man, we had to do everything.
That's what I'm talking about. Zoe don't take out no trash. Zoe don't do no dishes. Now, she does
a lot for you, though. See what I'm saying? I got you, Z. I got your back.
I got your back, Z. Hey, what's up on your mind, man? We're going to talk in the OU football?
There's not really a whole lot going on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there is?
Let's talk about accountability right now. Accountability. Just last week, Cale Gundy was in the news for making a mistake. Nobody's perfect. But if you make a mistake, own the mistake, and immediately start working towards fixing it or improving, getting better. Yep. Do you know he was at Millwood? And the coaches asked him to come out to talk about accountability.
Yes, sir.
So who would be better than a guy who took accountability, resigned, and went out there, spoke about it, and said, this is what you should and should not do, and if you make a mistake, this is how you own it, and this is how you make it up going forward.
Don't hide in the closet.
Don't hide.
Michael Jackson hid in the closet.
Whatever it is, hats off to him.
Absolutely.
Whether it was a mistake or not, he's doing the right thing.
No, that's because, I mean, at the end of the day, we all make mistakes, man. I mean, have I made many? Yes, I have, and I'm gonna probably keep making many mistakes. And once my mama always told me, and I'm preaching a little bit, when God thinks you are perfect, here's when He's gonna bring you home. And so, right now, He got us all on this purpose on this earth to do a purpose, and a lot of us, coaches, dads, moms, teachers, aunts, whatever that's in the school system and in the medical field, they're here to help. And sometimes you got to grab that young man. You might not know what that young man's going through. Right. He might have a perfect home. He might have a perfect home, and everything might look good.
Or you think he got a perfect home.
Yeah. But you don't know what he's going through.
Right.
Sometimes you got to grab that young man.
Talk to him.
Is everything okay? Because, I mean, I keep a smile on my face, but half the time I'm pissed off at the world. But, hey, I got to show the funk, to leave the funk, because I'm keeping it funky, like I told you.
Right.
But sometimes you don't know what's going through a young man. He might have just had a bad grade. He might have just, excuse me, not have got accepted in the school he was thinking about getting in. He might not have got the job he was trying to get. So sometimes you got to grab that young man or young woman, not the same man, and just make sure everything's all right, because that's what you are as a coach. Because I remember my favorite coach, and his name was Dennis Huggins. Man, I remember him, Huggy Bear is what we call him. And I remember him like yesterday. And I'm a 50-year-old man, so Huggy got to be pushing 70, 75. But I'm not hating on you, coach. I still love you. But I'm saying, you remember that coach that took care of you, that always said good things to you, because ain't no young man perfect. Yeah. None.
No one
is. And good as your kid can go off to go to college and go off to be in med school or go off to be in something, he might flunk out. Doesn't make him a bad person. He might not make first team. Doesn't make him a bad person. He might not hit, him or her might not hit the game-winning jump shot. Doesn't make him a bad person, because at the end of the day, it's part of life. You learn through your mistakes and you fix them and you move on. Yep. And sometimes we're too ashamed,
too prideful.
Man, to say, hey, I did something wrong. But sometimes tell that young man, you know what? Granted, you might not be here, but I still love you.
Man,
I'm still here for you.
Man.
Because I said it late.
Man, you got it damn straight.
And that's what I'm doing, man, because that's one thing. That's why I coach kids, man, because I love the kids. Hey, no kid, one thing about nobody can ever say about me.
No daddy ball.
Ain't no daddy ball ever been in my house.
Yeah.
In my house.
Yeah.
My boys, man, Deshaun said the other day, he said, when we played for you, Tony, we sat the bench, him and Gabe both. One of them ended up being an all-state wrestling and football.
Right.
One of them ended up being a hell of a football player, got a great job at tinkering and moving himself up, and going to finish his degree, and can cook with the best of them out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I did a damn great job raising my kids. Make sure you do the same with yours. That's real.
All right. Well, I don't know if that's Tony Johnson or T.D. Jakes sitting over there, but he's over here preaching. But he's preaching.
They called me T.D. Jakes the other day. I said, you know,
that was good. That was good.
I said, I've been called many things in this world. Most people call me Mr. Brown, but I tell you one thing.
He felt you was bringing blessings.
No, but you know what, though, man? I'm just keeping it real, because I know a lot of kids go through shit that people don't know about, man. It's like I said, we go through stuff as a grown adults, man.
I was just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? We go through a lot, man. I mean, is my wife, is our marriage ever perfect? But no, I try to get better in the things I do. There's things that she tells me I need to fix. You know what? I got to fix them. There's things I tell her she needs to fix. But I tell you one thing, I know she always got my back.
Man.
She always got my back.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man, my wife got my back. No matter how knucklehead I am, Jessica and Johnson got my back and our kids' back. And I tell you what.
What is it about Tony Johnson for somebody that is as beautiful as Jessica to put up with a Tony Johnson?
Man, because I'm a hell of a guy. At the end of the day, I'm a hell of a father. I am a good dad. I provide for my house. She can't never say I'm out there smoking dope, out there gang banging, and not taking anybody that do that, because I'm not going against you. But she knows I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna provide for my family.
There you go.
When I first got with Jessica, hey, I know we all football.
Yes,
but
this was make this show unique. Let's talk about the real.
I tell you, when I first got with Jessica, I took on two kids that wasn't mine. And I'm going to tell people, that's one of the hardest things you ever had to do.
This is what's crazy. Those that didn't know you before then and met you after the fact, they would not have known that until you just shared it.
Because I tell you, though, you had to learn two kids that's not your kids like to love your own kids.
Right.
And guess what? Those are my kids, all of them.
Definitely.
They mine. I mean, Deshaun might not carry my last name. He's a Johnson. Shakira might not carry my last name. She's a Johnson. Those are my babies.
Yes.
Because you know what? Jessica loves Gabe and Olivia just like she loves Zoe. And I tell you, everybody, and I know we ain't on football no more. We preaching right now. But I tell you right now, God does a lot of things that you might not. And I know sometimes we sit back and say, why is this happening? And when I got divorced, man, my mama, she's a church lady. She probably like E. She in church every day. She kept telling me, God's going to bless you, Tony. He's going to bless you. And I said, man, what are you talking about? Woman, I'm going through hell right now. I said, I'm going through hell. My pocketbook, bro. I ain't got nowhere to stay. I ain't got a car. I ain't got nothing. I lost everything. She said, he's going to bless you with double. And I kept saying, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I just kept saying that. What are you talking about? He blessed me with 2 other kids.
Woo.
He blessed me with everything that I got.
Yeah.
I went from living in an 11-foot square house to a 2,300 square foot. Is it beautiful? No, it's my home.
It's your home.
It's my home.
It's yours.
You know what? We got debt. I ain't got one credit card.
Yeah. Coming from 320 East Bowen.
Coming from 320 East Bowen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So everything happens for a reason.
It does.
I know sometimes we don't look at it and say, man, what's going on?
Right.
But it does, man. And I tell you, sometimes you got to crawl before you walk.
Appreciate the process. Appreciate the grind.
You know, I'm going to give it up to Coach Carter because he says it all the time.
Trust the process.
You know, give it up to him on that because
shout out Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, give us a like. But I'm just saying, sometimes we don't do those things, though. We think everything's supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
And life is not perfect.
Yeah, we're not.
And I tell you one thing that I am scared of in life.
What's that?
I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm scared of death.
Death?
Yeah. I would have lived forever. I want to see all my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do, man. That's being real.
Well, you
I
look like you're about 110.
I hope I get. That's how I look like I'm 110. Anything else y'all got to say? Because I'm just over here preaching.
Man, I think you have said it all, Tony. I mean, that's the perfect way to wrap up the show. You know, just being appreciative of everything through trial and tribulation. You know,
you got to,
everything
man.
like that. So,
no matter who wins that Choctaw Dell City game, you're going to play another game. You know what I'm saying? But before we get off here, though, we're going to end on that note. Who's going to win some of the games next week in week 1, though? I mean,
week 0?
I mean, I'm sorry, week 0. Can we pull up a schedule real quick?
Let's see if I can get a week 0 schedule pulled up. Yeah. Squirtle up and running at the moment.
Well, definitely game that we've been talking about is Dell City and Choctaw. Who you got, Tony?
I'm going to say I'm going to keep this brief because I know I've been on some other stuff, but I think both teams bring a lot to the table. I think Steele is one of the top QBs in the state of Oklahoma. I think Latrell's a good running back. I know they got Juju. I know they got Jackson Smith. You know, a lot of these guys were there when my sons were seniors, but now it's their time to shine as a senior. And I think E kind of said a couple weeks ago, this is their really good chance to go win a gold ball. Bigsby did move up. I know there's some other teams in the way, but I think, and you know, talk to some people. They said that that new offensive line coach is real. I know people talk about their O-line not being as big and being young, but sometimes you got to start young. But I think once you kind of, like you said, these games, these scrimmages coming this week are big for these teams because that's when they get to grow up and you get to find out, hey, well, I'm messing up. And as a coach, you sit up all night because, you know, people got to get up to coaches, man, no matter how mad we get at them. They don't have a life during football season.
They really don't, man. And their wives and kids and, man, and especially if they're athletic director. Yeah. You're not only managing football, you're managing all of the sports and behavior and communication with parents, whether there's meetings or not. The remind messages go out. You have to give it up to them. They're trying to juggle and balance a lot, and sometimes in that you can be distracted, and you need to get coaching staff around you to support, kind of like you got, Tony. You got me and E. So wherever you need the assistance, we step up and fill in for you.
No, I feel like you guys are a big part of this show, man. I mean, we've gone a long way, man. We're sitting at episode 89 after we dropped this one. We're getting close to 100. But I just tell you, I went back and I looked at some of the shows, man. When we're in football season, we get a lot of likes. I know we've been trying to branch off. And I'm going to give a little bit of love to those 918 guys, man. They've been retweeting our stuff, man. And I love to get on with those guys and chop it up, man, because those two guys probably know more about football than all three of us sitting here. They played in the pros and done a lot of coaching and stuff like that. So there's no hate, man. I'm going to give those guys love.
Maybe we take a trip up there and join the show and just have open discussion just about whatever. Get a
hey, man, I love it. I'm down with that, man. I love to get on anybody's podcast. Anybody come on this podcast, and like I said, granted, we talk football, we talk any sport though. But our main objective is to try to get people recognized, schools recognized. I think Coach Ginn over at Bethel, man. I'm pretty sure we'll have him on real soon. I mean, a good friend of mine's another great coach. There's a lot of good coaches out there, man. I mean, there really is, though. But going back to it, I think Dell City, I think once they figure that quarterback situation out, Coach Jones told me he was going to announce the starter. I think people's kind of sleeping on Dell City's passing game. You're going to be surprised what their QB can do. I know who it is. I'm not going to go and announce it because they haven't announced it yet, but you're going to be surprised what they can do. That team is fast, and like I said, you got to contain Steele, though. If you contain Steele, you're going to be in the ball game. That's the only point I can give you, Coach Jones. I know you're a defensive coordinator, but I think if you can contain Steele, try to beat up Latrell a little bit. I mean, I know he's got a little bit bigger, but you got it. It all starts with the man of steel. They call him Superman. I'm still waiting on my hat. He showed me. He sent me a couple of pictures of ones today, and I will wear it on this show with pride. But I'm gonna go and be a homer and ride with that black and red.
Yeah,
black and red.
I mean,
28-14.
28-14.
28-14.
Oh, that's a low score.
Yeah, I'd say it'd be a high scoring game than that, but I think I would have to agree. As much as I hate to do it, I just think with the young offensive line that Choctaw is going to have and the strong, experienced defensive line that Dell City's going to have with Jaden Foreman and Thomas on the ends, I mean, they're going to give Choctaw's offensive line some hell that game. So I think if somehow Choctaw can contain the outside and keep Steele protected and everything, I think they can win that game. And, if they don't, then they won't. So I think it's really that simple. I think that game's going to be won or lost in the trenches.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who you got?
I'm torn, man. I mean, like I said, if Choctaw keeps the pass rush and the run stop contained from Dell City, they'll win. But if they can't, then they won't.
What you got, RT?
He still hasn't made his mind.
I did. I just said right there.
Choctaw?
Sure. If that's what you want to say.
He said sure.
He just sat there and said Dell City. I mean, you made the man flip. He's kind of like a transformer.
Honestly, I don't know enough about either of the schools. I do know what they have, but as far as watching them, it's really tough because I know that Dell City right now, I'm not sure if they identified who the quarterback would be, and then they also lost their running back as well, right? So,
but you got the band Tango.
True enough, I don't know enough about them. If I had to pick just based on the environment, the hunger, the grit, the grind, I'm gonna have to ride with Dell City.
Both teams lost their last game they played, so they're both gonna be hungry. Like I said, Steele is a senior. Those guys have been, they've been at the doorstep of being at the state championship. Mm-hmm. Only one team has been in their way is Bigsby. Last year, Deer Creek knocked them off. Yeah. Year before that, Stillwater was their nemesis. And then that same year, they knocked off Stillwater and Booker T. Booker T will be loaded again once, like always. I think Muskogee will be a team that you can recommend. And in the PC North. PC North is always going to have athletes, and they're always going to be big. I mean, that's just the way it is. But like I said, it's a 6A small versus a 5A team. Choctaw should win the game. But like I said, I think it's going to be I said a high scoring game, but I think it's going to come down to turnovers, though. I mean, who can turn the ball over less? Who can outcoach the other coach? Both coaches come under the umbrella of Coach Rose. Yeah. Both coached at Dell City. Mm-hmm. One left Dell City and went over to Choctaw and done big things over at Choctaw. Has been in the playoffs for the last 4 or 5 years. Been in there almost every year. Was on the doorstep of knocking off Bigsby and winning the state championship with that team that already won 3. Like I said, probably fell 30 seconds short and a touchdown away from winning it. Yeah. I think they're hungry again, but like I said, it's going to be tough because both teams want to win. I know Jones don't want to lose and Corbin don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose, but at the end of the day, I think Dell City maybe just have 1 or 2 more athletes. Right. That's me saying it.
Hopefully they can stay healthy, no one gets hurt, and get ready for the next week.
What else we got, Big E?
6A1 week 0, you got Owasso versus Bixby. So yeah.
Welcome to Big 6A. Yeah. That's all I can say. Talking to that young man last night, Mr. Williams and, the defensive back for Bigsby, he said they're good. He said that Presley brother, the youngest one, is really good. Yeah. He said he's bigger. He's taller than all of them. Wow. And faster.
And then he's a freshman or sophomore? Just a freshman.
Wow.
He said, man, Tony, we're good. And Coach Cole, I love Coach Cole. Got his own podcast.
We gotta have him on.
He said they're good too, man. And Bigsby's always gonna be good because people's gonna move in. And now you're 6A. If you go dominate 6A, they're gonna have all kind of people moving. On that game, I'm gonna pick Bigsby because they know how to win. They just know how to win. Yeah. Who else we got?
Man, we can't go and pick all these games yet. We still gotta have games to pick next week.
I know. Let's get 1 5A game then.
1 5A game. Let me get it back pulled up.
Week 0 or week 1?
Week 0.
You got Carl Albert and Coweta.
Carl Albert and Coweta.
Mason Ford.
I tell you that game. I haven't seen Carl Albert. I might get it. I go out tomorrow night, Thursday night, and check him out. And I know this will be up by the time the results is done on that game. But I tell you, it really depends on how Reed stands and that offensive line. I think that offensive line of Carl Albert is really good. with some kids that's has moved in and
Tanner Easton, Caleb, James Reed.
Yeah, they got some guys that's come and help the program. And high school football is kind of like college football now. Not being mean or not saying anybody's doing anything wrong, but the transfer portal. Hey, I can go over here and make a super team and win a championship. You know who all started that? Basketball, NBA basketball started that. The Dallas Cowboys, when they was bringing Dion and all those guys in. So people see it, parents see it. Everybody wants their kid to wear that state championship ring. It's something that my mama got my brother's rings put up. Unfortunately, I never won one. We won one my sophomore year. I left the team and went to basketball because I think we was going to be good. We went 6-4 and ended up going to the state championship and winning it against Lott Knight. So that's how it happens. Whoever gets hot at the right time can win it, no matter what your record is. I seen Dell City had Benny Butler, one of the best teams in the state, sitting at 10-0 and get beat the first round by a team that they was 10 times better.
They had Mike Woods too.
Mike Woods, that team was loaded, and guess what? Got knocked off the first round of playoffs, and Henry Manning was coaching that team. So anything can happen. But with Carl Albert, it really depends if everybody can stay healthy. You can see they have some guys banged up right now. I think X Robinson, he'll lead the way at that running back
and linebacker,
and then and you got Reed DeQuacy. I think he'll play both sides of the ball. Little QB and
safety.
And safety. Then you got Cash. I think Cash should get a chance to throw a couple balls around.
That ball.
The kid just got committed to Oklahoma State. So it just tells you what kind of athlete he is.
Got Tayshawn.
Tayshawn, Iowa State commit. So
Trey Washington.
They got some players. You gonna keep naming them down.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they got some players. But I think Mason Ford. Anytime you get on that turnpike and you drive up there for 2 hours, you're gonna have the work cut out. You come into our house. You beat us last year at your house. So Coweta's ain't gonna be no joke. And I tell you right now, Colorado gonna have a tough road. They're gonna have to get by these three games. They got what? Coweta, Midway City, and then they got Muskogee. They're gonna get to test Muskogee, and everybody's talking about how good Muskogee is. They're a sleeper, but I tell you right now, man. I give it to all these high school coaches going out and reaching out and getting good games instead of these cupcake games. Don't be like KD. Go get a real game.
I was going to say that because in addition to those few games, like I said, when you're looking at Class 5A, Carl Albert is playing, I want to say, 4 of the top 10 teams. And if they can stay healthy and make it through those games, whether they win or lose, and make it to the playoffs, those coaches normally come up with a great plan, and with the support that they have there and those few players that we listed, man, they got a good opportunity. You
got to give it to those coaches, though, because you got a bunch of knowledge on that staff.
They just got a few more coaches that also brought their kids with them.
Coach Wilkerson, and then
I think Coach Starr, and then one more guy, I forgot his name. I apologize. I believe he's helping with the freshman team. He
come from Gonzales?
The middle school.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
So
Tony knows everything. Everybody knows Tony.
Hey, keep it 100, folks. If you want to know something, ask me. I'm going to tell you before your mama can tell you. Anything else, E? I know you ready to go, man.
I think I'm good.
You good? RT, you good?
I'm good, man. Good luck to all the teams. Praying that everybody stay healthy. Yes, stay safe and healthy, and
absolutely
show good sportsmanship. I know at times it's tough, but at the end of the day, sports only take you so far. What's after that?
Right. Life journey. But folks, we thank you for catching and watching and listening to another great episode of Keeping It What?
100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
And we'll see you next week when Week 0 kicks off, and we'll be talking 3A and 2A. 1A and A and B and C. We'll catch you one next time.
All right.
Just kidding. Yeah. See ya.